Good evening. Welcome to the very last match of what has been an 8-man competition that has been happening here at Dice Lounge in Munyonyo, a suburb of Kampala. My name is Peter Chebe. The players on table are Hazard, the guy wearing white, and Caesar, the guy wearing black. They are racing to 7, just like has been the entire tournament. It has been, like I said before, an 8-man competition. That means for each of them to reach this level, they have eliminated 2 guys. For Caesar, you can remember the first round victim was Kasozi, second round victim was Ibrahim Kayanja, also known as Mosira. While for Hazard, the first round victim was Sam Mahozi, and the second round victim was Gideon. The very last match we've had live today, like I said, they are racing to 7. Scores are 0-0. Welcome to the stream. Feel free to share it. Let us enjoy this final as many as we possibly can. 0-0. It seems Hazard is about to take an early lead. One thing I'm sure of, that these guys are quite good rivals. They are not best of friends at all. This is Hazard queuing, nothing short of exceptional in this first frame. Black will have no problems for him. He leads 1-0. He is the home player. This is his home venue. He is sponsored by the management of the bar, and this is the pool table where he trains. I don't remember him having a match with Caesar on the same table. Oh no, actually the very last tournament, the very last 8-man competition that happened here, in the first round, Hazard was defeated by Caesar at this very venue, that tournament, which was won by Ibra when he defeated Caesar in the final. The 2 players have faced off a few times before. I remember 2 particular victories for Caesar. One was at Amigos in a weekly competition. The other was a double life tournament that was organized at Diplomat Billiards Cafe in Kajansi, about 20 minutes away from here, which was also won by Hazard. If I'm not mistaken, Caesar has about 4 victories against Hazard in competitions of the sort. By the way, the two managements are discussing a potential money match between Hazard and Caesar, only that the Hazard team are asking for a head start, which the Caesar team doesn't want. The maximum Caesar would want to head start Hazard could be 3, racing to 16. But Hazard's manager, that is Steven Sentongo, talked to me about his player being head started with 5, which Caesar says is not fair for a top player of Hazard's level. 1-0, it is Hazel in the lead. The two players were in the country of Zambia last year and returned to the country almost on the same day. Since then, they have without doubt been two of the top players in the country for the last year, when they have been all or both in Uganda. Hazard, if I'm not mistaken, has won, I think, 3 competitions like this one. For Caesar, they are already 20, the most dominant player in the country for the time he has returned from semi-professional pool in Zambia. Look at this cue ball control. The white just dances around the black ball. Beautiful cueing. No better way to equalize than that one. 1-1. If you've seen the frame finished by Hazard, then also seen the frame finished by Caesar, one thing you are promised is that the next 30, 40, 50 minutes are going to be very, very exciting. Both of these players are good at their game, especially attack, but when they decide to go technical, both of them can deliver on that front as well. Hazard rose to prominence in the sport as a very young man, I would say a very young boy, around the year 2015 as a player in the Takers Pool Club in Kampala. He was barely on the Takers starting team, but he simply decided to have many matches with the top players in Uganda. The likes of Fahad, the likes of Sula of the Day, Black Sheep, Ivan Kanyesije, Uthman, Bukenya, Amos Ndiagumanawe, Jonah Turije, and believe you me, Hazard won most of them in what was called Hazard's Tour of Uganda. He, in early 2016, proceeded to Kenya when his star was starting to shine, having many matches with the best players in Kenya. I actually moved with him. I remember he played with Henry Mwangi, Fred Karanja, John Chalo. He also played with Ben, and he won all of those money matches. This performance, though he was not yet a big player, preempted the Pool Association of Uganda to invite him for national team selections for the All Africa Pool Championships that were yet to happen in his home country in Uganda. And Hazard passed those selections with flying colors. He was able to displace Amos Ndiagumanawe, who was a much senior player by then, replacing him on the national team. Hazard was part of Team Uganda for the event that year, and together with his teammates, they were able to win the African Championships on home soil for the first time. I also remember that in the singles, he lost to the guy who is now the world black ball champion, Senzo Gumede, also better known as Nzwana Kwabe of South Africa. Since then, he also won a few competitions. He will be remembered for reaching the semi-final of the last edition of the National Open Pool Championship of the Pole Association of Uganda, losing out to eventual winner Bwanika Mansour in the semi-finals. He also ventured into Chinese 8-ball, as it was called then, Chinese pool, and became one of the first Ugandans to represent in the World Chinese Pool Championships in Shanghai in 2019. When he came back, he participated in another competition in South Africa later in the year and stayed in the country to play some matches with some of the top shooters in that country. And after lockdown, he extended his stay to Zambia, where the Uganda national team was to have the All Africa Pool Championships, which were organized at the OIDC in Lusaka. That was last year. He was part of that team. They came third in the men's team category, but in the singles, he Hazard in particular reached the round of last 16 on a chart of 128. That is a very commendable performance. He lost out to the eventual first runner-up, Victor Sinyenza of Zambia. When he returned to the country, he is credited for reaching 2 finals. That is the one of the Grand Open Pool Championship of the Pole Association of Uganda. Actually, it was the King of the Table Championship, won by his teammate Ibrahim Sejemba. He also reached the final of a 16-man competition that was organized right here at Dice Lounge, also losing out to the same opponent, Ibrahim Sejemba. On his own, he has won a few midweek competitions like this one, weekly competitions, most notably the 32-man double life competition that was organized earlier this year at Diplomat Billiards Cafe. He has also won 2 weekly competitions organized at Amigos in Kampala. This is, since that victory, this will be his first final, and he's trying to beat Caesar for the 3rd time since return from Zambia. I think by that you know enough about this guy Hazard, trying to make it 2-1. Yes, he now leads 2 games to 1. They are racing to 7. It is $300, that equivalent, to be shared by these players, the 2 only. The rest do not get anything apart from a handshake. The winner will take 200 and the first runner-up will take 100. Not a bad way to sum up your day when you are one of these guys. This tournament, besides the money, they are playing for pride, improving personal statistics, and to assess their readiness for big competitions to come, most notably the Nile Special National Open Pool Championship, which is happening next week on Saturday, 11th November. Mark that date. If you are a fan, you want to be part of the action at the MTN Arena, you will part away with Uganda shillings 25,000, around $6. Not much to watch 128 players plus 32 female players compete out for 2 brand new cars, 2 brand new pool tables, and cash for about 24 of them. 2 of them surely brand new cars. By the way, the car comes with some money. It's something that can change someone's life. One guy has won that competition twice, the legendary shooter Fahad Sewankambo. And indeed, that tournament has changed his life because he sold his first car and bought a piece of land in Bulenga in Kampala. And when he won his second car 3 years later, he built a house with the money, and that's where he's living with his beautiful family. That is the weight of the tournament that is coming up. This Friday we are having the draws of that tournament, grand draws. They'll be happening at Tickles and Jiggles in Kampala. Mark the day, this Friday, 9 a.m. morning. We hope that the draws will be relayed live on NBS Sport TV, which TV is the official media partner of the Pool Association of Uganda. Hazard 2, Caesar 1 race to 7 in this final of an 8-man competition that has been happening all day, actually since 2 p.m. here at Dice Lounge in Munyenyo. I believe it's now too late for you if you want to come and watch the action for your own. Let's just see it off away. Here we have God to thank for the availability of internet, such that our favorite sport is played with us all as witnesses, irrespective of whether you are at the venues or not. The beauty of pool is that what you call as the pitch, the playground, is small enough that you don't even need a big camera which can zoom very much. If you want to watch the action loud and clear, a phone camera can do the job. This is now Hazard trying to make it 3-1. Caesar needs to be careful. Yes, Caesar normally starts as a favorite as long as he's part of any match. But this Hazard guy he's playing is confident, not just because of his own qualities, but he is the home player. He is sponsored by the management of Dice Lounge. The boss of the area, that is Chairman Mark, as he is called, is his personal boss. And the management includes the likes of Stephen Sentongo and Sentamu, who are some of the people who run this area, Dice Lounge. This is where, by the way, Hazard had a money match with Aiden Joseph. If you remember Aiden Joseph's tour of Uganda, the very first match was against Hazard. The venue was this one, the table was this one. This is where Hazard was badly thumped 16-2. Dice Lounge also was part of the sponsorship of the Aiden's tour. They provided accommodation for the African giant. Caesar breaks like has been the entire day. His brakes have been on. This time the scores are not on because he is trailing 3-0. Feel free to share this video. Let it go as viral as it can go. This sport is nothing without publicity. It's nothing without media. It's nothing without you guys watching. How boring it will be. However competitive when players are only watching, are only playing for themselves. It really wouldn't make too much sense, would it? Lennon Mohan, thank you for watching. Tumuhairi Enoth, you say you like Hazard, but you say you like Caesar, but you think Hazard is winning. Good luck to you and maybe both of the players. Spina Shamira, always watching. Once again, this page, Break and Finish Live, is a new pop-up page for streaming pool after I find myself in an uncompromising situation where my Facebook account was disabled by Facebook because, according to the notification I got, the email, I'm using content which belongs to other people. Definitely not true. A game like this one is streamed live. Of course, it doesn't belong to anyone before myself. It is originally being streamed by myself. So normally when that happens, it could be because of the background music that has been playing over time, or when the page is being reported. Those are the two scenarios I find myself in. In fact, even the fact that my account is disabled, I don't have access to that page, Peter Chebe Live. I also don't have access to the Pool Association of Uganda Facebook platform, which I've also been running for the last 4 years. Still trying to appeal, but the appeal is not easy at all. That stance by Caesar is what a scorpion actually stands as. It's my favorite viewing position of Caesar, when he lies against the table like a real scorpion. He always takes the game seriously. It doesn't matter whether he's simply he's simply having practice, whether he's playing against a simpler opponent, whether it is a final, whether it is a first round match. He normally takes it serious. But sometimes he's also lucky, like you've just seen. By the raising up of that arm, it is a gesture that he's apologizing to his opponent that he needed luck more than his own ability to pot that previous shot. Here he is now on the black. If he sinks it in, it will be 3-2. He does exactly that. Caesar 2, Hazard 3. They are racing to 7. Yes, I said earlier as we were starting this tournament that we hope to be done by 11 p.m. Maybe we shall be done by around 11:20, 11:25 according to the speed of these players, latest 11:30. Yeah, because we started a little later. Around an hour and a half later than we hoped that we would. Otherwise, the expectation was to conclude this tournament by 10 p.m. East African time. South Africa time. In South African time, it is just coming to 10 p.m. now, as well as the entire Southern African region. Expect more and more and more of such competition. It has been a very, very, very busy last 2 months for players of this level. I wouldn't think that Caesar has been to his best entirely in those 2 months. The 3 big competitions, he has not won any of them. The Grand Mchana Open, he was defeated at the round of last 4. He missed out on the All Africa Pool Championships, not his fault. He participated in the Howley Cup. In the singles, he lost out in the round of last 16. In the doubles, he was defeated in the final alongside his teammate Joseph Kasozi. And as Team Uganda, they only came 5th out of 9. He was also able, during those competitions, to win a series of money matches. But money matches are just for the purpose of money and some pride. They are not official competition. They are not for ranking. They are not official competition. That's all I can say. Though it's also not a bad thing to win them. His next assignment is in 11 days, when the entire Uganda Pool fraternity will be gathered at the MTN Arena in Logogo, the biggest indoor stadium in the country. It is, if you're watching from Zambia, it is Uganda's OYDC, maybe even more. That is where all indoor games happen, major ones. It has hosted the basketball championships of Africa. It has hosted the Africa Netball Championships. It has hosted the African Boxing Championships, even national competitions of the sort, of course, including pool. It was also venue for the wedding of Uganda's former president, Milton Obote. That is where 128 of these men and 32 of these ladies in 11 days will be gathered to compete for the honor to be called the Uganda champion. 2 brand new cars to be won, each by 1 lady and 1 male. 11th November. Mark the date. Make sure you are free on that day. Plan not to work. Either come to the MTN Arena or be glued to the internet. The semis and finals will be relayed live on a national television, that is NBS Sport Television. And then from the first round up to the following rounds, we could be good to go here. This is Caesar. Beast mode loading has been such a lovely clearance. He now equalizes. 6 frames played, 6 quick frames, and they are being so far shared equally between the 2 talents. Caesar 3, Hazard 3. Thank you for watching Dennis on home. Dennis, I know you are supporting Hazard. Welcome to the stream, Dennis. Always watching Dennis the hater. Gozagira Hill, thank you for the advice that I always put disclaimers. I do, but they cannot. They only prolong Facebook bans. They do not keep away those bans. Caesar breaks. This time he doesn't only put the object ball, he also sinks in the white ball. So it is a foul on the break. Hazard with an opportunity to make it 4-3. The quality of the free shot will determine how far he can go. Hazard Lukoma. He has carried lots of nicknames in the present and past. I remember him being called Drinkwater around 2016. After that Leicester footballer Danny Drinkwater, they named Hazard Drinkwater simply because he was always taking a lot of water between shots. At one time he was nicknamed the barbed wire, simply maybe to intimidate his opponents. He has also had a nickname just calling his original name in a fancy way, Hazo. Nowadays he calls himself the Truth. Hazard, the Truth. For Caesar, his main nickname is the Scorpion. But then there was a time when he was called the Dictator of pool, until he officially wrote through his management expressing how uncomfortable he was with that name, and of course it was stopped. Hazard with only one big shot left. Not a very good shot he necessarily has to play, but as long as it's a big shot, an effective shot. Nice. That is a round of applause from some of the around 30 fans who are watching. Hazard regains his lead. Scores are now 4-3. Thank you for watching. Peter Karanja must be watching from Kenya by the fact that you are Karanja. Geoffrey Jaggi, Shiloh Axon Alvins, Tumhaire Enoch, Wesley Raymond Jr., Eugene Bokang, Betty Tabitha, always watching, Ivan Focus, and all of you who are seeing off your Monday evening by enjoying the talents of these amazing players. Thank you for watching. Welcome to the stream. Share the video. Your local WhatsApp groups. If you have your Facebook group where you normally discuss pool, not a bad one to share. Yes, in the meantime, after the National Open Championship, maybe 1 or 2 international competitions in which these players can be expected to compete before the end of this busy period of play. A big competition coming up in Zambia. That one should be in December. Another one coming up in Zimbabwe also before the end of the year. And as if that's not enough, Eswatini is also coming on board. My good friend Doge Masebola is organizing a big competition which is meant to attract many of these players to the country of Eswatini. There is also talk of a big competition to happen in Uganda, an international competition around February. Let us keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully it is pulled off. We are at Dice Lounge in Munyonyo in Kampala, where we are having the final of an ongoing 8-man competition. Players on table are Hazard, who leads 4-3 against Caesar on the scoreboard. Top of your screen, scores for Caesar are the ones on the left, and for Hazard on the right. Hazard is very, very determined both in terms of his body language and the execution of shots. He also stands to gain more than even the prize. Normally, what Dice Lounge does is that when their player excels in a competition, they simply double his winnings. For instance, the winner today takes $200. They could simply get $200 more and make it $400 for him. That's how they normally do it. Maybe he's just a little bit out of sorts. Not sure of which shot to play next. Hazard. What can he do? He's on the reds. Maybe he's going for a long-range target, the red ball nearest to the cushion, near that center pocket. If he can sink that one in by rolling, simply rolling it with a slight follow, good shooting. But he needs another equally big shot, potting that red ball in the center where it bounces off 1 or 2 cushions to get a good cue ball for the next red, the last red. It won't come easy, but for a player of this level, it is possible. Yes, just around less than 30 minutes, we shall surely know, surely who will be the champion of this week's 8-man competition. The last player to win this one that's the last time it was held, is around exactly 3 weeks ago today. Or is it 4 weeks? When once again Caesar was in the final, but on that day he lost to Ibrahim Sejemba. 11-6. This is good queuing from Hazard. Very good shot. Very, 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 very good shot. You cannot get so many better shots, not just in this match, but today in the entire tournament. That shot will compete with the shot that was played by Ibrahim Makayanja against Dog City in the first match for the shot of the tournament, but has been nothing short of impressive. 5-3. Hazard now leads and they are racing to 7. Thank you for watching. Jerry Mabe Sebastian. You are waving fire. I don't know, you are saying fire from home, maybe from Hazard, but I know you are supporting Caesar. Victor Smith. You are saying Hazard. Kasim Sula. You say you are supporting Hazard, is it? Spina Shamira. Always watching. Lakim Singuzi, you're saying, you're asking Caesar to come on now. Ongom Dennis. Amona is supporting Caesar. Tigan Ayo, you're asking Caesar not to lose hope. I hope he can hear you. Evans Okacha. Oh, Evans Okacha of the Rock and Shoot, please. Facebook and YouTube pages based in Kakamega in Kenya. Thank you for the good work you are doing for the sport. Very, very wonderful commentary. Very insightful. Every time I watch your games and listen to your commentary, it is always very, very, very inspiring. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Webster Dala Mutinta, you're saying Caesar all the way to Mahairi Enoth, also supporting Caesar. Bululu Jimmy supporting Hazard. Philip Sinyangwe, by the sound of the name, must be from Zambia, asking for the scores. Kindly look at the scoreboard. Top of your screen, scores on the left are for Caesar 3 and on the right are for Hazard 5, and they are racing to 7. Caesar is playing to pull another one back. Chikawa Ricky, thank you for watching. Belinda Kalisa Ivan saying Caesar is taking it. Let's wait and see. For now, he's still down 5-3. He needs to win the match. He needs 4 and Hazard 2 out of the 5 remaining frames in this match. Dice Lounge, Monyonyo, Kampala is the venue. Many of you will most likely remember this venue for the battle between Aiden and Hazard. This is now Caesar trying to pull one back. Oh, he's a serious looking player. Yes, scores are now 5-3. Hazard in the lead. Rich Lubega supporting Caesar. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Caesar 4, Hazard 5. Robert is saying rightly that was an apple from Caesar. Ivan Fidi says it's a great finish from Caesar. Yes, just hold your sleep for less than 30 minutes. Something is about to happen before we get finally to know who the winner of this week's 8-man competition will be here at Dice Lounge in Menu. The race is 7. Caesar needs 3. Hazard 2 out of 4 frames left. Today's brakes have been on. How good can Hazard brake? He pots one red. Definitely table is open and the reds are looking pretty good. Distinctively the better choice of balls to play. He will most likely try to close the table with that connection, playing a red ball which is frozen against the cushion to put the red ball near where he is standing right now. If he can do that, maintaining a good white ball for one next spot, that other red in the corresponding corner pocket, then why not? He will be good to go. I wouldn't fancy him trying to close the table with a bank shot when there is clearly a better chase of balls. At times you have to avoid making risks, but the risk, he's not punished by that risk. Now the balls are even in a better position to be swept away by Hazel. $100 to win for the player who comes second, and 200 for the player who wins this match, who will have been the winner of the tournament in its entirety. It is the second edition of the 8-man comps that are expected bi-weekly here at Dice Lounge in Munyanyo. The first one was won by Ibra. This time it is Caesar versus Hazard in the final, as we see Hazard make one of those unforced errors, misses what should have been an easy shot, and it's a chance for Caesar to try and make his comeback in this frame. This is Sam Hozi. He wants to talk to you briefly, less than 5 minutes maybe.
I really don't know what's wrong with. I really don't know what's wrong with Peter Chove, forcing me to do his duties. But anyway, for someone who was beaten earlier, I wouldn't want to be saying anything about Paul, but it is what it is. We live to fight another day. Anyway, as it stands, Caesar has 4 and Hazard has 5, as you can see on the scorecard. Yeah, so Caesar on yellows, man. Today is, I don't know, he's been playing flawlessly in the earlier games, but the final is not as lethal as he has been. And so far, both players are playing well. Yeah, so Caesar misses the pot in the center pocket, giving Hazard another chance to play the reds. What does it start with? Probably if he starts with that ball that he's lining up, then yeah, it's actually a containing shot. He didn't go for the game. He hasn't gone for the game. Actually given Caesar a chance to get back onto the table. And he also contains. Hazard seems to be finding his rhythm of late. But we don't know. And let's just hope he can win on his home turf, because this is where he does his training from, and probably his work as well. Not really sure about the work bit, but this is his home ground. That's one thing I'm sure of. So Caesar on yellows with chance to clear, but he's lining up this target in the corner pocket. Flawless ball going through the pocket without hitting the draws. He's probably going to line up the skill shot now, a combination. Aye. Does it perfectly with some outside English to get position on that corner pocket ball. And now an easy block to the center. Well done, Caesar. I'm actually far from the screen, that's why I'm not reading some of your comments, but the goat of commentary is coming back in a few minutes, so you bear with me for that. Yeah, so it's level now. Hazard 5, Caesar 5. And Caesar to break. Hazard actually had a chance in the previous frame to break and run, but it was an uncharacteristic mistake. Caesar is actually breaking decently. All colors looking nice. Red can get done, yellow can get done, it's up to him. Probably going to go for yellows. Oh, actually he's going for red. Yeah, closes with the ball in the center, red in the center pocket. I think he's going to clear these. I think he'll clear these. But he hasn't gotten position on the ball he'd have wanted, the one next to black. So now he has to go for the alignment shot, a long shot into the left corner pocket, top left corner pocket. This boy. His target is from the gods. Oh, God's really blessed this boy. Also waiting for our blessings. I'm sure they'll come soon. Anyway, Caesar with 3 reds to go. Fairly easy to pot. Next light work of it. 1 red and black to go. Soft stun to the right and getting an easy black. This boy breaks and runs for free. So Chue Peter is back. He had gone for a short break.
How much time was that?
It's here.
Thank you, Sam. You cannot get a better apple than that one. One thing special about this young man, Caesar, especially in the competitions, he just picks up when it matters. He started this match a little slow. Hazard seemed to be running away with it, but how he has used his brilliance to win the last 2 frames is nothing short of exceptional. Scores are now 6-5. It is the first time in this match that Caesar is leading, and it is the most important time in the match to lead. 2 frames left. Hazard must win them or else lose the match. He pots on the break. Yellows inside. Yellows sunk in. Table is open. Not clear. There is no clear distinctive color of balls compared to the other. And yet it seems his body language is suggesting that he wants to go for gold. It will not come easy at all. Hazard closes the table playing reds. That small hand clap you can hear has been the one for the boss of Dice Lounge, Mark, one of those tycoons around Kampala city. Hazard is his boy, but he generally supports all of these players. He normally motivates them with tips every time they put up some good performances. I've seen him today tipping Caesar with $100 when Caesar arrived at this place this afternoon. One note of $100 and told him that is a token of appreciation for that performance against Aiden. And yet another gentleman who is also here also tipped Caesar with the equivalent of $30 for the same. So Caesar is up to now still being rewarded for that performance against Aiden, especially for the fact that it was in Johannesburg on Aiden's home turf. Hazard on the Reds, still continuing in attack. It won't come easy, but it looks like he is trying to go for this game. He could put in the center with the white ball, opening up the pocket nearest to your screen. If he's to pull that one off, it has to be a big shot with lots of power in the cue ball, but the cue ball has to be guided perfectly. If at all it is the shot he's trying to pull off. The power was okay, but accuracy on the pot was just slightly missing. This is how Hazard finds himself a way back into this frame. Should Hazard win, it will be an equalizer which will take the match into a decider. Should Caesar win, we shall simply go home knowing that Caesar is champion for today. Six for Caesar, 5 for Hazard. Race to 7. It is the final. My prediction was to end this match at around 11:30 p.m. East Africa time. It is 26 past 11. My prediction for closure can only come through if this match ends with this frame. That is, if Caesar wins. Yeah, I'm also seeing signs of another weekly competition happening at Laban's in Namlanda, Entebbe, this coming Sunday. One of those places where pool is so entertaining nowadays. If I can have some memory, maybe the last person to win a weekly competition that side, if I'm not mistaken, must be, is it Ian? When he defeated Glorious in that final. Here it is 6-5. Hazard asks Caesar and the umpire to be extra cautious, careful here of the shot. Very good shooting. 3 Reds all packed in corner pockets. Hazard now has the right to be thinking about the black ball at this stage of the match. Still 6-5. Caesar up. He could go slow and bank the black ball in the center pocket. He could play white ball off the cushion with a big spin on the right hand side to open up the black ball. Those are the options. Goes for the latter. I'm not convinced that what he did was his intention, and his body language is in agreement with me. Now what he could go for is putting that black ball in the center pocket where there is a yellow ball nearby. Maybe black ball can be potted off the yellow, as long as it is a very accurate shot with a little energy in it. I do not see an option outside of those two. I'm not so sure black can be potted in the corner pocket, extreme right of your screen. Either way, Hazard needs to try and play to pot, because if he doesn't, he knows that Caesar has more than what it takes to respond with a clearance of his own. 6-5 if you're just joining the stream. It is Caesar in the lead. It's the first time that he is taking a lead in this match. We are at Dice Lounge, Munyonyo, Kampala. Yes! Hazard sinks it in, and sinks it in very, very, very beautifully. Ladies and gentlemen, the final of this week's 8-man competition is going to end in a decider. A divider, ladies and gentlemen. 6-6 decider. What do you have to say about the match, Sam?
Not a bad match so far, because Hazard gets out of jail. He had put himself in a pit, but he gets out of jail. He gets out of jail, and very well. That was a nice shot. But for the decider, whoever is breaking, I'm giving the decider to whoever is breaking. If it's Caesar breaking, he takes it all. If it's Hazard breaking, he takes it all. Back to Peter Troll.
That was Sam Mahozi. By the way, he participated in this tournament today. Normally, a commentator when some of these games are being played. This is Caesar just warming his body up, making sure that by the time Hazard comes back for that one all-important frame, all will be well. Yes, the tournament will end in about 5 minutes or so or less. Please do not sleep off. Just hold your sleep for maximum 5 minutes. Don't sleep before you know who the winner is. Hazard 6, Caesar 6, race to 7, time out by Hazard. Here at Dice Lounge, Munyonyo, Kampala. This Friday, the draws of the Nile Special National Open Pool Championship, Uganda's biggest individual championship, which is also the biggest local pool tournament on the African continent. No more rewarding tournament than that one. And no other tournament gives players an opportunity to come either on foot or public transport, and then knowing that 2 of them will drive away at the end of the tournament. Only the Nile Special National Open Pool Championship. That is this Friday. We will know who will be playing against who. Some of the things you can expect is that the top 8 seeds in the tournament do not face off against each other until the quarterfinals. That is, if any of them reaches that level, they cannot face off until the quarterfinals. Other players outside of the top 8 can face anyone at any level in the tournament. What makes this tournament interesting is that, listen to the top 8, according to the rankings of the Pool Association of Uganda, by their ranking is achieved by performance in Pool Association of Uganda tournaments only. Seed 1, Ibrahim Kayanja. 2, Kenneth Odong. 3, Gloria Senyonjo. 4, Ibrahim Sejemba. 5, Bwani Kamansur. 6, Habib Sepuguzi. 7, Kasozi Joseph. And 8, Sembo Siyuda. Now, any player outside of those 8 can face any player at any stage in this tournament. For instance, Dog City, Jonah Turija, Caesar, Chandiga, Namanya Fred, and all of these brilliant players, Fahad Sewankambo, are not seeded among the top 8. They can face any player at any level in the tournament, including first round. For instance, Dog City versus anyone can be at any stage. It can be first round. Doesn't matter. It's just a random draw. For the ladies, the top 4 seeds include seed 1, Rashida Motesi. 2, Rukia Naiga. 3, Victoria Namyanja. And 4, Marian Chisache. Those 4 can only face off in the semi-finals. Other than that, any other player can face any of those top 4 or any of the other players on the chart of 32 at any round. I can give you an example of Zaimat, number 4. She can face any player at any round during that tournament, including the top seeds. Same applies to the likes of Rita. So expect the most competitive National Open Grand Finale ever, both men and ladies category. And I can tell you, for the men's event, I think around 95% of the top players expected that the grand finale all qualified. This one was really devoid of any major surprises. It's until around actually the second last week of qualification when we saw the elimination of Gomekiliza Alfred, the guy you call Black Sheep. Then the following weekend, the elimination of Humphrey Nsubuga, veteran player nicknamed Master P. Other than that, all of the top players expected at the grand finale were delivering. They were qualifying. It is going to be fireworks. There'll be a lot of tears. Make no mistake about that. Lots of disappointments, because despite the fact that the number of brilliant players are so many, we can only have one winner. But on the 11th of November, in 11 days from now, make sure you are on a free day. Scissor to break in this decider. The break has been on from morning up to now. This is the last break of the tournament. How good can it be? Break is fair. Yellow is potted. Table is open. And all the yellows are good. All the yellows are good. There is no reason whatsoever as why a player of Caesar's level should not finish off this frame. If he doesn't, it will be an underperformance. 6-6. It is the divider, as some people call it, a decider as it's called here, the determiner. Name it. The winner of this frame will be the winner of this week's 8-man competition that is going on here at Dice Lounge in Kampala. Someone is asking if Oketa Ivan qualified for the grand finale. Not only didn't he qualify, he has never qualified. I can see some of the viewers are members of the grand finale. Justin Nampe, that is her name, by the way, Spice Tebiansala. She had to move around 700 kilometers to and from Kampala to qualify from Fort Porto. I think she qualified in 3rd position. Jeffrey Jaggi, thank you for watching. Caesar made the decision to go with the Reds, and it seems the decision is about to pay off. 2 big shots needed by him. That is one of them. This is textbook stuff from this stuff. He can start with either of those Reds. Starts with the one which is seemingly the more difficult one and sinks it in. White goes around the yellow, leaves an angle for him to simply roll the red ball, such that black is potted also in the corresponding center pocket. Makes it difficult for himself. I do not think he should have used that energy to bounce the cue ball off the cushion. He ends up snookering himself, and eventually it looks like Hazard will have another chance on the green bed. 6-6. Learning never stops. Maybe Caesar is about to learn that even overconfidence in a frame can be a cause for defeat. It seems he's trying to calculate an angle, play the white ball off the cushion such that it hits the black, putting it in the center pocket. It will not come easy. If he loses this frame, he will remember that moment when he decided to risk with the movement of his cue ball. He finds the ball but does not pot. This is the opportunity that Hazel has been looking for all frame. I don't think he even expected a chance back on table in the last 1 or 2 minutes when it was Caesar's turn. Six. Race to 7 for the victory, for the pride, for the bragging rights, for the money, for a check of the readiness of these players ahead of the National Open Grand Finale. What Hazard is doing is take a sip of water and most likely try and sweep away this frame all at once, as if he's now going for defense. He does go for defense, and it is a very effective defensive shot, but I think maybe Caesar can see just a small fraction of the black ball. He can see a small portion of the black ball on the right, and according to his body language, as if he wants to pot it in that corner pocket where he's standing. It is possible. It won't come easy for as long as he can see a small portion of that ball. It is possible to pot in the corner pocket. Simply has to take it slow. Small cut on the black, and hopefully for him, maybe the black is sunk in. Does exactly that and sinks it in. Oh, this guy, you never give him a chance. Caesar, ladies and gentlemen, wins this week's 8-man competition here at Dice Lounge in Monyonyo. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a wonderful 6, 7, 8 hours of top quality pool. I wish you a lovely evening.